What's up guys, Blackthorn back at you with another Spellbreak video. Today we're going to be going over the Tempest Gauntlet. The best talents to use, the best runes, and the best secondary to back it up. A quick disclaimer, this setup we'll be going over today is my opinion and fits my playstyle. Feel free to tweak it in any way that meets your needs. Okay, with that out of the way, let's talk about the Tempest. Tempest is my personal favorite class. That being said, the damage potential is relatively weak, especially in the early stages of the game, unless you get lucky at the start and find an upgraded Ring Gauntlet. You'll be doing around 3 to 7 damage per attack. Pair that with the Tornado that does no damage by itself, and you can be left with a pretty underwhelming view. However, to make up for the low damage, Tempest has several mobility increasing skills that are unlocked as the match progresses. Now that we have addressed some of the pros and cons of this class, let's discuss the talents that I personally believe are the best to take advantage of them. The Mind talent that best makes up for the disadvantages of Tempest is Focused Mana. This talent gives you a 15% spell damage increase when you have at least 80% of your mana. This bonus goes to 18, 20, and 30% based on the number of scrolls you collect in-game. This is obviously advantageous due to Tempest's low damage potential. Anything to get those damage numbers up will give you a huge advantage over your opponents. Moving on to the Body talent, we have Dexterity. This talent increases your jump height by 25% and decreases the amount of mana you consume while levitating by 15 to 30% depending on scroll number. This talent works in direct correlation with Focused Mana because it maximizes the time that your mana stays above 80%, which means you get the damage buff more frequently. It may not seem like much, but in this game, that little bit of damage could be what determines the outcome of the fight. Lastly, for the Spirit talent, we have Recklessness. With this talent, it gives you a 15 to 30% damage increase and a 15 to 30% decrease in your mana consumption. Now obviously, having no armor is not exactly ideal, but let's face it, this is a situation you will find yourself in at least a few times a match. This talent really shines in a long, drawn-out fight where your shield is taken off several times. This talent also directly ties in with the previous talents by both increasing damage and decreasing mana cost. For a quick example of how these talents can work together, let's imagine a scenario where you have all of the talents maxed out in game, and let's just say you still have the base Tempest Gauntlet and you have no armor. So now in this situation, as long as you have over 80% of your mana, your attack goes from 3 to 7 per hit to 5 to 12 per hit. That almost doubles the damage output, and that's not even factoring in the 20% in-air spell damage increase that is unlocked by the 3rd skill level of Tempest. Once that is factored in, your max damage potential output goes to 6 to 13 per hit. So those are the talents that I feel best pair with Tempest. Now let's talk about the secondary that pairs most effectively. Now obviously there are only 5 other options, and it really comes down to which you are most comfortable with. For me, my go-to is Fire. I feel like the Fire Gauntlet pairs nicely because it makes up for the low damage output of Tempest. It gives you the ability to add damage to a Tornado, and the Firewall ability effectively acts as a control ability to block off angles, to either block off an enemy's escape, or even to block an angle while you heal. Also something to note is that all of your talents and skill bonuses that raise damage and reduce mana cost also apply to your secondary weapon. Once again, there are no wrong choices when choosing your secondary. At the end of the day, it's your choice what to run. Also, rarity of Gauntlet will play a role when deciding what secondary to run. For example, even though I prefer a Fire Gauntlet, if I have a white Fire Gauntlet and I find a gold Stone Gauntlet, then I will pick it up 9 out of 10 times. And the one time that I wouldn't pick it up would be because of an inability to do so, rather than an unwillingness to do so. Okay, now let's talk about runes. Due to the mobility boosting skills of Tempest, your options are really wide open. You can kind of play this however you want to. Do you want even more mobility? Well, grab a Flight rune, or a Feather Fall, or even a Teleport. If you want to play a little stealthier, go ahead and grab an Invisibility rune, or a Wolfblood rune. Personally, I prefer the Flight or the Teleport rune because they can help maximize your time spent in air, which will increase your damage potential. Anyways, that's going to wrap it up for this video. If you found this helpful, please let me know with a like. If you want to see more content like this, go ahead and subscribe. Lastly, I want to know, what's your favorite Tempest setup? Let me know in the comments below. As always, have a great day. Thanks for watching.